Hello and welcome to Roadmap 2019, where we speak to big stakeholders in Nigeria's political space ahead of the general elections. I am Ladi Akeredoluale. Thanks for joining us. On this edition, my guest is an advocate of resource control and state policing as key ingredients of restructuring and true federalism. He believes the leading opposition People's Democratic Party, the PDP, would further strengthen its comeback by embracing the no victor, no vanquished policy to bring back aggrieved members. He also thinks that former President Goodluck Jonathan should put together his memoirs in order to highlight milestones, especially his concession of victory after the 2015 elections. Now please join us as we speak to the governor of Bayelsa State, Honorable Seriake Dickson. Your Excellency, welcome to Roadmap 2019. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Now, it's been a turbulent period, if one is to describe it like that, both for Nigeria and for politics in Nigeria for a while. Let me start, of course, from your home base, which would be the PDP in this case. Are you seeing a return to normalcy? Are we seeing a return to normalcy, if we were going to call it that, after the turbulent period in the Sheriff, McCarthy, do we call it crisis? Are we returning? Is it returning to normal, in your view?
Well, first of all, politics, the dynamics of politics, accommodates a certain level of discordance within political parties, because politics promotes divergence of views and opinions. It naturally engenders disagreements, people taking different positions, even within the same political party, such that even within the same party, you have different tendencies, not to talk of people having different ambitions and aspirations, which for me is perfectly
in order.
Depending on the way and manner those things play out and are managed, and the level of understanding by the players, which I've said time and time again, is not, for now, quite rudimentary. I mean, if you look at advanced political parties in other climes, even within the Labour Party, you have in the UK, you have people who are on the extreme left of the left. You have those who are centrists.
Yes.
If you talk of the Democratic Party, if you talk of the Republican Party, you have people who are extreme and those who are centrist. So those tendencies are there. Therefore, the game of politics and democracy itself, naturally, by its very nature, is competitive, promotes competition of ideas, competition of tendencies, competition amongst interest groups. So when you say normal, we've got to understand what the normal should be. The normal should be a constant interchange of ideas, a constant, contest of even supremacy in terms of which tendency should hold sway within a political party. That is also normal. Now, about my party, I know we went through a period of turbulence, and again, that is to be expected in a large political party. The APC now is having, what do I say, a baptism of, not fire, a baptism of national politics. When you regional tendencies, you can sit down in your room with your wife and with your associates and determine what happens anyway. But if you must be a national player, attracting gladiators who can make your party win in every ward, in every local government, in every state, then you must be ready to manage some level of normalcy, some level of turbulence. which was what I think in our party we went through. And
you played a very central role in that.
Yeah, but I will talk about that. Has there been a return to normalcy, as you said? I think the party is already returning to normal. The chairman and his team are doing a good job, and a number of us are playing different roles, which is where I come in. As chair of the Reconciliation Committee of the party, and I've been variously appointed into this position for the past 5-6 years or so. And not just me, but several other leaders in various ways, the chairman himself and his team moving. And I think that's going to be constant from now on. So in a sense, the PDP, the turbulence, the worst period of the turbulence is over. I'm not saying that we are where we want to be in terms of cohesion, in terms of building unity, in terms of, and that, all of that is a work in progress. So things are settled. There are challenges, the challenge of bringing every stakeholder on board, tendency on board, aspirants on board, and assuring a level playing field, you know, improving on our internal democracy mechanisms. So I think even the party itself is learning. Yes.
Now, if we take that as a given that normalcy is returning from what you've described, then let's take it now to the national stage. Now, the PDP has made no bones about its ambition to return to the federal government, to be in charge of the federal government next year. That's 2019. But as you pointed out, things have developed between 2015 and 2019. The party has had its spell in opposition, is still having that spell in opposition now, and maybe a few lessons have been learned. But would you say that the issue of internal democracy, just like the APC is undergoing now, the issue of internal democracy is key to the PDP being able to return to power at the center?
Clearly, the issue of internal democracy is at the core of the success of every political party. Beyond that is at the core of the sustenance and stability of our democracy. And when I was in the House of Reps, chairman of the Justice Committee for a fairly long period, one of the bills that I sponsored was on internal democracy. I think that we may at some point go back to regulating by law the activities and conduct of political parties beyond the way we are. For example, we regulate companies, limited liability companies, and we require them to file annual returns, for example. We know those who can be directors and those who cannot be directors. By law, we know how directors can be removed and how they can emerge. Those are companies. The sustenance and stability of our democracy and of our nation itself, if we must embark on the democratic route, is founded on political parties. Political parties are national institutions. And that's why people like us feel that these parties to be the two that we now know, several others are coming, they should be supported and treasured as national assets. National assets. We should be interested in peace and stability of the APC as the party in government. Unfortunately, it is not showing that. It is so much rancor and lack of cohesion of a collective vision that can ground success in their running of the national government. We pray for them. I think we should all pray for them to get their acts right and be united. We should also support the emergence of a strong, cohesive, efficient party in opposition that is ready to be in government at any election time. That's the beauty of it, so that you don't have a one-party state that will breed totalitarian rule and dictatorship, who can take the party, the country for a ride, you know. So that's not good for us. So I think that we should all support these parties. Therefore, the issue of internal democracy, and it is central to all parties, not just even the two big parties, even the small parties. When they do their congresses, ends up as parallel, ends up in the court. The fact that you have to subject the issue of a flag bearer or who is an elected officer of a party to a court is an indictment of the maturity of the political class in this country. And which is why, if you remember, when we had those challenges in the PDP, I made a case for a political resolution. I was misunderstood, and because people had different ambitions and tendencies, were struggling for control.
You were accused of supporting one side.
But that's my role as a peacemaker, as chair of reconciliation committee, is to say what I think is in the best interest of my party and of the country's democracy, which I did. And if you look back at where PDP was at that point, when I was making that case of a no winner, no vanquished solution. If you take PDP as we were in every state, between then and now, when the Supreme Court gave a verdict and you had a so-called winner or winners, you can see the difference.